guys who combined to play 15 seasons in the National Football League trenches. Well, 2 guys. And Mackey, who didn't do shit. This is the O-Line Committee.
Yes, we are. It's 2 guys again because the longest hunting trip in the history of hunting trips is still going last night for Jeremiah.
At some point,
who hunts through 2 weeks of the NFL? That's crazy.
My wife would have been like, "What are you doing? Are you killing everything up there? Jesus, dude!" At some point,
hunting
it's like
humans. What's happening up there?
Come on, man. Yeah, no, I was thinking about that. He's been gone for a long time. That's a ding. Where's my? There's no flag.
No Swifty Sirles. It's a late, and I'm missing the podcast fine. Although he does have the link, so he might jump in at some point.
That's a pillow fight fine.
So we'll get into it. Wow,
So
just
much
another
to get into.
drunk weekend in the NFL. Just
So
things
amazing.
all over the place.
I know.
And we're going to get into all of them here in our Who's the Mics. But first, my friend, let's do this for the Minnesota audience here, because Viking Fest is happening in the Twin Cities, October 4th and 5th, so this upcoming weekend, and then October 11th and 12th at the Dakota County Fairgrounds. And Viking Fest is literally what you think it sounds like. No, it's not a festival to fix the Vikings offensive line. That's what I wish was there. But also, it's a bold new celebration of Viking heritage, Norse mythology, and living history. And if you're looking for a legendary family adventure this fall, step into the world of the Vikings at Viking Fest, Minnesota, October 4th and 5th, and October 11th and 12th, with a hands-on experience for all ages. You'll see a historical Viking encampment, Viking combat, and live weapons demonstrations, and all sorts of fun things. Find out more at vikingfest.com. That's vikingfest.com. And then one more shout out to those who like to eat healthy during football season. HelloFresh. They create and send chef-crafted recipes and fresh ingredients right to your home. No time for the grocery store? Or are you too mad about your football team to even take yourself to the grocery store? That's where HelloFresh comes in. Maybe you're bad at cooking. I don't know. HelloFresh is here with bigger portions, healthier, or bigger menu, I should say, healthier options, tastier options. Fall cooking season is here. So you can help yourself and your family and the show when you go to HelloFresh.com/O-Line10FM. That's HelloFresh.com/O-Line10FM and get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. HelloFresh.com/O-Line10FM for those 10 free meals. All right, my friend.
Here we go. It is
Mike
so
number
time.
one. Mike number one.
Here we go.
The Kansas City Chiefs are back. The league and the Ravens had a chance to bury them at 1-3, and instead the Ravens wind up buried themselves at 1-3 with Lamar Jackson suffering a hamstring injury. But Patrick Mahomes, vintage 4 touchdowns, no interception performance, 270 in the air. Xavier Worthy comes back, 5 catches, 83 yards, had a big 40-yard chunk at one point. And don't look now, but with the Chargers losing, and I'm sure we'll talk about that, and the Chiefs winning, all of the talk, and we had it on this show, is this the end? The Chiefs are back. They're 500, and the league had a chance. The league had a chance to end them, my friend, but here they are, coasting into October.
Back again. Dude, you can never put Mahomes out of anything, ever. And what he did in that game, I mean, we said it, right? When you get Xavier Worthy back, instantly this offense is going to cook because now they're going to stretch so much more of the field, right? And now all of a sudden you have to play so many more blades of grass. And you have so many playmakers over there. Like what Tyquan Thornton's all of a sudden doing, coming out of nowhere. Did you see, was that this week or last week that he had the 2 catches that were the exact same as last week? He had the catch, right? And it was completely knocked away. And you're like, okay, well, that was a great attempt. Next play was the same exact catch. Everything that this offense has been able to do up until now has been them just fighting as hard as they can, right? Like, hey, let's just hang around. Let's just do what we can, right? And that's why you're like, okay, well, I kind of like it because they don't really have a lot. They're not really known to be a run game team. And they're fighting really hard because Mahomie can do Mahomie things. But defensively, what they did, I mean, the first series, I was like, oh boy, Mackey, we screwed up. We screwed up bad, right? Like I was like, oh, we really screwed up because they just walked all the way down, scored a touchdown, and I almost called you like, we screwed up badly. But I was like, give it faith, right? Spags is never out until he's out, and Mahomes is never out until he's out. And now you talk about what happens if you lose a guy like Lamar Jackson? Like I haven't heard any updates on his hamstring, but I'm telling you right now, this team has no chance. Like here's what's crazy about this. The Ravens, if you would have told me in the beginning of this year, we talked about it, him and Burrow, right? Like Lamar and Burrow, they're going to go off and they're going to cook and they're going to do their things. And then you look at these other two teams and you're like, man, they got 40-year-olds as their quarterbacks. They're not going to be doing well. And for the most part, that went completely upside down on its head. Like you lose Burrow, now all of a sudden the Bengals are struggling. The Ravens go into this game, walk down the first drive, and you're like, this is going to be super fun to see what happens. And then the rest of the game, there's nothing, and you're like, okay, now it's not fun. And then he leaves the game with a hamstring, and you go, well, now what's next? Because this defense is getting cooked every which way. And there was a time when they were really, really good, and they were feared, and now they're not. And if you don't have Lamar, what's to compliment King Henry and all this, right? Like you can, all of a sudden people go, okay, well now we're just going to load the box. We're going to do what we've wanted to do forever because we're going to make your backup quarterback throw the ball a little bit. Not to say that they don't have playmakers all around like Zay Flowers, and you talk about Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely coming back, like Justice Hill, what he can do on offense. Like those are great playmakers. But number one, they were getting shut down in the game. Like it's just there was nothing to do, nowhere to go, and it was like, man, this defense is stifling. And now all of a sudden they're putting the pressure on, and you're like, man, this is how they beat you in Arrowhead. They put everything on top of you, and then they just go, hey, Patrick, go do you and have fun. And that's what that was. And we kind of saw it coming. I think I saw it coming because of all the sacks from the week before, where it was like, this is so uncharacteristic of them to take these sacks, for him not to throw the ball or get out of trouble or do whatever it is. And then you start to think, hey, do they start to have a recipe on how to stop Lamar Jackson? And there's no better way to stop him than when he's not playing. So that could be a huge, huge loss for the Ravens.
The Chiefs, I have a Ravens take in a second because it depends on Lamar. Obviously, if Lamar's out for like an extended stretch, then it could flip the whole thing. But we'll come back to that in a second. In terms of the Chiefs, their method for winning over the last like almost 2 full years has been just keep, like you said, keep the game kind of close, claw it, and if you can just get in the last 5 minutes anywhere near or leading or down by a score, then Mahomes Magic's going to take over, and Travis Kelce will wake up and find a spot in the red zone somewhere, and Andy Reid doing Andy Reid things. Mm-hmm. Well, that was the first time their offense has scored 35 points or more in a game in over 2 years, dude.
I know.
The last time they scored more than 35 points, and this dynasty was built off of crazy offense, the early part of it. Crazy. And then the Tyreek Hill trade happens, and they have, all right, we're paying a quarterback a bunch of money now, so we got to sacrifice some places. They've had some injuries. But even last year, dude, they made it to the Super Bowl not scoring a lot of points, just kind of grinding out these close games, defense. The last time they scored more than 35 points in a game was Week 3, September 24th of 2023, in a 41-10 blowout over the Chicago Bears at home at Arrowhead. So if all of a sudden, and I'm not saying it's going to be a regular occurrence or they're going to go back to the Tyreek Hill, but they're going to get Rashee Rice back at some point. So you're going to have Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, all these other weapons. What if the offense is kind of clicking back into shape here?
I kind of am saying that. I think that's what I am saying, is like we on this show have been saying, hey, we need to wait to see what happens with Xavier Worthy when he comes back. Now this is going to be a huge threat for everybody else to have to start to partner with guys on the offensive side. But then you start to say, hey, Rashee Rice might be coming back too. Yeah, Mac, I think that we're at the point to where they were like, hey, you guys could have knocked this team out really hard and put them in a really bad place, but instead you let them revive themselves. And it's not like they did it against like a team that we're all kind of looking at like, what's wrong with it? Make it, like I'm trying to think of a team right now that it's hard to think of a team off the top of my head that's not
a team that like is broken, or what do you mean?
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of a team that's broken that we were before this game. You and I were talking, is this the end of the dynasty? And it was like, man, if they lose this game, they're really sitting in a bad spot for this year.
Their schedule's pretty brutal still.
We could have put them against, I'll say, the Bears, right? And it was like, man, they almost have every chance to win. But we put them against the Ravens, and it was like, this is really, they're going to fight their way for this. And what they did offensively, the way that they came out, it was like, damn it, they're back. Damn it.
Yeah.
We could have so slayed this dragon and not have to talk about it the rest of the year. And now what are we talking about for the rest of the year? Boy, that was you almost had him on the ropes, but the
Ravens, man. It's on the Ravens, quite frankly, or the rest of the league's looking over there like, you guys,
What
You had
did
one
you
job,
do?
just one time.
That's
Can you
what I'm
not just
saying.
one time
And
take
we
these
sent
dudes out?
Dude, we sent a formidable foe in there. We were like, Lamar, do your thing. And they were mad. They're coming off a rough start. Like, you were like, oh, yeah, King Henry's going to run through someone's face. No, not at all. That's not at all what happened. And that's where it goes. Damn it, they're back. They're back again. In my eyes, they're going to probably win the West because they were like, you tried so hard and you took so many knockout blows on us. Even the justice system had to come down on us and take players away. But guess what? They're back. And now you're really going to be scared. Like, you think about what Rashid Rice is going to do in this offense. It's just going to electrify it even more. And it's like, man, defensively, they are just suffocating people. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is going to be. So on the Ravens side, I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong here, but I'm not. If Lamar misses a month, all bets are off. But if Lamar, let's say Lamar misses a week or something, and he's back with that hamstring. So Adam, what's that buzzing noise? What are you touching right now?
I hear it.
There we go. Okay, your electric takes are just.
Oh, is that what that is? If I touch the computer, does that make that noise?
Do it again.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh!
You can save that sound effect for when you have a real electric take coming up here.
That was amazing.
But it depends on Lamar, and maybe during the recording of the show here we get some news on it. But the Ravens, they're sitting at 1-3, but the Bengals are kind of cooked, and they play Monday night tonight. But the Bengals without Joe Burrow kind of cooked. The Browns have been a little feisty, but the Browns offense with Joe Flacco. So they've got 2 games against Cincinnati on their schedule. Joe Burrow might be back December 14th, but I think he's probably out for the year. You got Cleveland again. Your next 3 games are all home games. Home against Houston, finally picked up their first win. Rams, that's going to be a fight. Bye week, home against Chicago. I'm not saying these are gimmies, but can you go 2-1 in those 3 home games? Get it back to, I guess, 3-4 on the season. And then the back end of your schedule, there's a Miami game. There's the Jets. There's Cleveland. There's 2 Cincinnati games. I still think the Ravens have a path to 9 or 10 wins, get into the playoffs, get your defense a little more right than it's been through the first month of the season.
I don't know.
I'm not out on the Ravens, is what I'm saying.
I kind of am. That defense is scaring me. I mean, they just can't stop letting teams put up points. And if you don't have Lamar, even for another week or 2, like you're really going to be in trouble. And I don't know. I mean, that division that we once thought was going to be really tough is not so tough anymore. And I'll be honest, like, I mean, are the Steelers in charge of that division right now? Coming off that massive.
I mean, is that the next mic here? Because
hold on. Football. They're
3-1.
Yeah.
I thought the Steelers were a little bit of a fluky 2-1 team just because the way they beat the Patriots the previous week, it literally took the Patriots fumbling on the goal line and then throwing an interception in the end zone.
Yeah, they are leading.
And but you know what? You get Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin get into the lab and they go to Dublin for that game against the Vikings. And I don't know if there were some stats out about like it being one of the quickest release games of any quarterback in the last however many years. They decided let's just instantly get the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hand before Brian Flores can dial anything up. Just boom, 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 quick game for 3 hours. And a running game. The Steelers' running game, they were averaging like 60 yards a game the first 3 weeks of the season. They doubled it. Kenneth Gainwell, who's been in the league as kind of a random running back for 5 years, his previous career high, 5 years in the NFL, previous single game high was like 78 rushing yards. And he bursts out for 99 yards as they ground and pound the second half. So, I mean, they're 2 games up on the Ravens, and Mike Tomlin generally doesn't lose. He's 9-8 worst case, like in his career.
Yeah.
So if you're the Ravens, you have to get to 10 wins mathematically, historically, just to surpass the Steelers. So
and they're in a good position right now in their division. Yeah, I mean, Mac, that game was. We all thought it was going to be feisty, and it may have looked closer than it was, but the amount of sacks that the Vikings gave up, and just they're decimated right now. And what this does for the Steelers, like it puts them on a different trajectory. Like the minute that Lamar walked out of that game, the Steelers were looking at themselves like, this is our division, boys. We are taking this. Like if we can just get through the Browns defense, which we have to take a second to talk about what Myles Garrett does, because at some point I get why they paid him so much money, dude. Like you watch that game and you're like, Where's 9-5? Oh, there he is. Like, he just goes through so many people, and you're like, wowza, that's amazing. But the Steelers, they're looking good. DK's getting pissed, talking shit to your boys over in London, getting after him. That 80-yard strike, like you said, quick release, right? Like slant, just hit him on run, let him do what the playmakers do, running down the field. But this is one of the things that you and I have talked about on Trenches and on Purple Daily for years. When you have a defense that's schematically just here to line up and it's like you have to guess which one's coming, eventually it's going to punch you in the mouth with a run game and the quick throws, right? And it's like, hey, now you have to tackle. And when you have all these guys lined up and all these guys in all these weird positions, we're just going to throw the ball quickly and let these guys run. And eventually it's going to hit you in the mouth when you're giving up 6 sacks and you can't run the ball and you're turning the ball over and you're in a foreign country. Like, you're like, dude, everything's piling up right now. We just lost our center. We just lost our right tackle for, hey, and I'm not saying this, but like a long time, right? And those are 2 great players that we were really counting on to be there this year. And you're like, dude, we're really backed up right now. We have our backup quarterback in and our backup running back in, and we're in Dublin. We're not in the States. Like, there's so much going on and things are piling up. I do credit them for fighting their way back in that. Like, I think the Vikings are a tough team because they can, getting punched in the mouth that bad. I could
still have a chance if they complete.
Crazy.
There was like 14 seconds left, and they spike it on 3rd down to make it a 4th and 12 from their own 37, and if you're the Steelers defense in that spot, you're less concerned about giving up a 12-yard reception, and you're just trying to make sure that like there's not a 30-yard reception or something. If you can, and they take a freaking delay of game because this 150-year-old stadium doesn't have a working play clock on that end of the field, and the coaches knew that before the game. But Kevin O'Connell said we were trying to get a play call in that had too many tags or something on it, and it just like it took too long to get the play from mouth to headset and then from headset to the huddle. They take a delay to bump it back to 4th and 18 or 4th and 17, and it went sideways. But like the fact that they were still a play away from lining up for a game-tying field goal,
they were in that,
is
dude.
Pretty ridiculous. But I brought this up to the Purple Daily guys today on the Viking side. So remember like it was 2002, and the Houston Texans were this brand new expansion franchise. And they drafted David Carr, number 1 overall, to be their starting quarterback.
Yep.
And people reference that season as an example of how to ruin a quarterback right out of the gate, because he was sacked 76 times with this. They put together this random expansion team. They threw him into the fire, and he just took a beating in his first season, and he was really never able to get over it. And he was a backup for a while, but that was pretty.
I played with David. Great dude.
Seems like a good guy. I've heard some good stories about him.
Greatest guy ever.
But his career from that season was just sort of stuck before it got started. So the Vikings are giving up essentially the same percentage of sacks as the 2002 Texans through 4 games. 14% sack rate.
But to be fair, they don't have any of their starters up front. You know what I'm saying? And this is one of the things that I don't want to get crushed for saying this because I probably am, but I just, me, Mac, there's no filter. And this is starting to look a lot like the 2016 season where you can't really control what happens next, right? And this is where it's like, okay, listen, I know it's early in the year. Y'all can't turn on each other. You can't do the players-only meetings. You can't be in there like going crazy. Like you have to turn around and be like, we lost our right tackle. We don't have our center. Our left guard's not playing right now. Our starting quarterback's down. We're just not fully ready to do all of this. And you look at some of those sacks, man. There was one that he literally caught the ball and just got drilled. And it's like, okay, this is clearly somebody's got an ME somewhere, right? Or something's not right, because even if it was supposed to be like that, you have to get rid of the ball, right? Like somebody has to eat that. And there's just too much of that when you watch the game. And then you think, man, you're overseas. Now hear me. You go into Pittsburgh, you think it's probably an equal fight going in, right? Because Aaron Rodgers has so much more experience than everybody, but at the same time, you're on like foreign soil. So it's like anybody's chance to win the game. And by the way, don't tell me that game wasn't slippery, because I saw everybody slipping all over the place. I hate playing over there. And I know everybody else does too, because it's so damn slippery. All you do is slip all over the field. It's so stupid. I don't know why everybody's over there. But then you lose this game, and now you got to go over and play another game. against the Browns, who we just talked about. Their defense is lighting shit up. Like, you can say whatever you want about that Lions game. For the first quarter, maybe even two, it was like, holy shit. This guy's a one-man wrecking crew.
Yeah, they were up 7-rip end of the first quarter. It's like, okay, Browns are
Browns are hanging tough here. And it was and you know what the game was? It was where's Myles Garrett and how many guys could we have to take to block him to keep our quarterback safe? This is why you pay this guy $42 million, whatever it is. I was watching this game going, worth every penny, worth every damn penny, worth every single penny, dude. And then you look at the Vikings going into this game going, boys, good luck. You're going to have to stop this dude with probably out your right tackle, without your center, maybe without your left guard. So where am I expecting Myles Garrett to line up?
By the way, for sure your left guard. He's on 4-game IR.
Okay, so then and for sure surgery. Your center because of concussion 2 in 1 year.
Does he ever play? I think Ryan Kelly might.
I think he's done. And I love
never
Ryan.
Plays again, dude. Yeah,
I love Ryan to death. But when you take 2 in 1 year, it's a really hard thing to come back from. And not only that, but you're getting to the point to where it's like, is this game really worth it for me? Right? Like, I remember being old and a lot of guys were like, hey man, it's not worth the brain. You will never remember stuff if you fuck this up. Like, Boone, all this that we're doing is not worth it if you can't remember why we did it. Right? And it's like,
you drug your knee through a lot because you know what? You could always just like get a prosthetic leg if you need to.
What's a
worst case scenario? Get a wooden peg, you'll be fine. You can't replace your brain though. That's the difference.
You can't. And that was one of the things. And it hits you when you get older and you have kids. And I'm sure Ryan is feeling the same way. And as a teammate, you don't really want anyone to ever have to deal because you think about like what's going to come down the road someday. Dementia, like man, they don't CTE, like all these things that are just scary, right? And you could have stopped. And the other one, too, is Brian O'Neill. And he's been a guy that's fought super hard for a long time. And I haven't heard any update about his knee, but it's one of those things where it's like, dude, these are things that over time they build up, right? And then it's like one day they're just not there anymore because they get so beat up. And Brian's that guy for me. He's tough as shit. I love him to death. But losing those two guys and not having Donovan versus the Browns could be a terrible way to go into the games. Terrible.
Yeah. So, gosh, you're right. Because Myles Garrett has wrecked fully intact, great offensive lines. And so your entire week of preparation, you're dealing with, in general, you're trying to figure out who's playing at those 5 spots.
Yep.
And then how do you make sure that Myles Garrett doesn't rack up 7 sacks and hurt your starting quarterback, Carson Wentz?
You keep it simple. And this is true because we've gone into games like this. We played 9-9 all the time, right? Like one of the greatest to ever do it. The protections become super simple. So it's always like a 2-jet, 3-jet thing. That's it. Hey, we're just 2-jet, 3-jet this week. And we are going to 9-5, a.k.a. whoever is the player that we want, right? Like he becomes essentially the Mike. Who we mic in 9-5. So they get up there and they look and he's to the left. It's like, okay, we're in a lucky. Now, if he picks his hand up and goes to the right, you'll see the center follow him and be like, hey, now we're Ricky. Like they're just going to follow him the entire because we're going to have to put 2 guys on him. What else?
Do you remember that clip last year? I think it was the Steelers when they had 12 personnel, 2 tight ends. And Myles Garrett like went back and forth, and the 2 tight ends just followed him.
How about this year where he's like, "Throw it, Jordan, throw it,
yeah. Dude, throw it, Jordan! Oh my god,
it's so funny." He's like, "I just cooked this dude so bad," and it's like, you know why he cooked that guy so bad? And this is the one thing, like, being a former player, I understood what he was saying. He cooked him so bad because the guy overset him thinking that Myles was going to beat him around the edge. So that's why Myles is so good. He's so fast around the edge that if you don't beat him to the spot, he's instantly going to cut that corner and get that sack. But if you beat him just like that too much, I mean like even a fraction too fast, he'll go right inside and you can't make up that time. And that's one of the things that makes him so special is if you don't put your hands on him right away, and I mean like with business and bad intentions, he's going to wreck the game. And so Vikings all week are going in saying, what now? Hey, how do we protect ourselves against this guy? And how do we get this run game going? How do we get the play action game going? Because if we have to stand back there against, and I'm not even saying that Joe Flacco can do it anymore, but I'm saying like if this becomes a 3-0 game, like we're going to have to win at all costs or else it could be a really bad start to the season for the Vikings.
Yeah, you and I will do a little film breakdown autopsy on Purple Daily. You join us every week on Purple Daily for Trenches. For like the Vikings fans that also consume O-Line Committee, we'll do a deeper dive there. But
absolutely.
Just it kind of felt like. And by the way, on Aaron Rodgers, just to put a bow on this thing, and then we can get to your Giants finally winning a game. Aaron Rodgers clearly went to school on the Flores defense, making him look like an idiot last year in Europe because they played the Jets and he threw a pick six to Van Ginkel.
Yep.
And was just he was seeing ghosts, and he took that personally. And I think he also circled that game in red marker because he's a vindictive guy. And like he has a checklist of people and teams he wants to get revenge on. The Packers are lurking on that list. And he, he downplayed the conversations. He was asked about, hey, you and the Vikings reportedly had some discussions, and he said, I've been friends with Kevin since 2008. It's just a couple friends catching up, because he doesn't want it to seem like the Vikings rejected him, but they did. Right. Like Aaron Rodgers wanted to play for the Vikings. The Vikings said, "Now we're good. We got J.J. McCarthy." Rodgers is a vindictive guy. He didn't make a big deal out of it, but he wanted to stick it to the Vikings and Kevin O'Connell in the way that he did yesterday.
Absolutely, he did. You couldn't tell he was so excited. And he did. He learned, right? Like, hey, if I don't want to have to deal with all these ghosts and all this nonsense, just get the ball out of my hands, right? Let them deal with it. Go. Good luck tackling DK Metcalf. How about that? You go stop that guy for a little bit. Like, Jesus, when that guy... And then he's talking shit, and you see Aaron kind of walking by. I'm like, all right, buddy, calm down. Like, I wouldn't want to piss that guy off.
Did you see Aaron? They ran, I think it was like a wildcat formation or like a tush push, and Aaron... And it was
standing
like
behind,
third
like,
one.
not
He's
a
like
chance.
10 yards back.
He's
10 yards. They're literally running 10 on 11, and Aaron's standing 10 yards back. They get it, and Aaron's just signaling first down.
He's like, you think I'm getting in there? You're crazy. By the way, I love the fact that he wears the oldest school helmet with the oldest school chin strap still to this day. Like, dude, drives me bonkers because they were probably like
grandfathered in. Can you even have that helmet anymore?
No, I don't think you can have it anymore because I know you can't have it anymore. So I'm sure he was grandfathered in. But
all right, hit us with.
All right, I'm going to be smart about this. I'm not going to get hit with a fine today for a Love Thy Captor, okay? But don't. I am going to hit this with this. You ready? Daboll, Jaxson Dart. If I ever saw two people that were meant to be together, that just work. I mean, did you see them after the game?
Daboll was fired up. Daboll
could have taken on the entire state of New York. Screw the city. He was like, I will fight you all for my job now. Like, he was like, I've been holding this in. I've been keeping it there. And not only that, you do it against the Chargers, who lose a very, very amazing left tackle who we are not happy to hear about. But we'll talk about them in a minute. But, dude, the Giants, number 2, losing Malik Nabers. Like, how all of a sudden do you find your quarterback that you're like, I can fuck with this dude? And then in that same game, you lose your number 1 receiver, who's a stud. Like, oh, my God.
It's kind of classic bad luck Giants, man. Like, and Jaxson Dart didn't tear it up, but just winning that game and him showing some athletic juice and there's
he's got this moxie to him, right? And I don't know, is this true? Did he really post a picture of Justin Herbert's girlfriend the night before?
Did he?
Somebody said that he posted a picture of her on Instagram. And then I heard on Barstool, this is what fucking makes me think this dude belongs with Daboll so much. I heard that Eli Manning reached out to him and was like, hey, congratulations, welcome to New York. If you ever need anything, let me know. And then, like, apparently, like, a month later or something, he hit up Eli and was like, yeah, I'd love a reservation to this restaurant. He was like, not what I meant. I was like, dude, you are such a badass. But
by the way, the rumor that you saw was not true.
Thank God. Because, dude, that would have been insane.
It's false rumor. It's false.
This dude's moxie is insane. He brings a lighter sense to things. Like, he's fresh out of college. He's the opposite of Russ. He's the kid that's like going to say whatever he wants, does whatever he wants, runs around, throws the ball. Him and Daboll are perfect for each other, dude. They're excitable too, man. After the game, I thought a fight was going to break out. Like, I've never seen a coach get that excited. Like, and I don't know if it was because it was against Harbaugh and he was kind of trying to push Harbaugh a little bit or what, but like, he gave him a hug, was like, oh my God, look what we did. Walks away and then comes back again. And it's like, you don't understand.
He circles, but it reminded me of the Zimmer Cousins interaction from 5 years ago. But both guys, I feel like both of these guys were in on it.
No,
that
listen.
one was more. Zimmer was like, "Get your hands off me! I'm going to punch you."
Exactly, dude. That interaction was completely horrible for the team. This one is like, okay, I see why they drafted this kid. Daboll likes this kid. He's excitable. He can make things happen. He can throw the ball. But once again, like, how crazy! The minute that you guys win a game this year against a really, really good Chargers team, you lose your number one threat. Like, that's where I'm like, dude, what could possibly they have done to deserve this? Right when everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, the Giants are going crazy," and I'm so excited that Jay's not here to take this fine. I'll take it for him because I am excited. I mean, I think that Daboll is a really good coach. I think that for a while he's been dealing with shitty quarterbacks, and it's like, listen, man, sometimes you don't get to say in the personnel and how things go, and guys leave and guys come, and it's like, deal with it, right? But for you to finally have a guy that you can be excited about, because Daboll is a different coach. He is the kind of guy that you've seen like would take you in a back alley and beat your ass and bring you back out and be like, now finish this game. And you're like, okay, I'm so sorry. Like, he's one of those guys. And this Jaxson Dart seems like the kind of kid that can handle that, which is good, and especially in this offense that has a million different plays.
Kind of a crazy game. I didn't catch the whole game flow. I did catch up on snippets of this game. But if not for the turnovers, man, like the Chargers averaged 12 yards per carry on the ground. Now, they only ran the ball 13 times, but they were gashing, they were moving the ball up and down for chunks of this thing. But yeah, like it is tough because I really wanted to see, because I do think Daboll is a good coach, and I know Giants fans get furious. There's a lot of Giants fans that are just out and impatient, and it's been he's been there long enough. It's time to go. I actually think he's one of those guys that if he gets fired, he will get a second head coaching job after like a coordinator stint, and it might go better.
If this rest of the season goes this way, where they're fighting harder and they're playing better and the defense is showing up, all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, no one's getting fired. We're all doing what we're supposed to do. Like, we're developing players.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing, because I do like Daboll, and I think he deserves this opportunity. And it'll be interesting to see what happens without Malik Nabers. But yes, the other side of this coin is Omari and Hampton. We're going to talk about that because, oh my lanta.
He's got some juice.
He's got some juice, my ass, dude. He is incredible. Did you see him running every which way? At some point, I was like, dude, what is that? Barry Sanders out there? What is going? He was juking and jiving and all. I was like, my God, running through people. I was like, this is why they drafted him. This is what they wanted with the Najee Harris. And they're in the same boat now, right? Like, they're kind of like the Vikings. They're reeling right now. They're like, hey, man, we're going to do anything we can to stay afloat. We've lost 2 great tackles. We're kind of fighting over here. We're having to bring new guys in. Najee's down. Instantly, it's putting pressure on everybody. And, dude, the front four at some point, I was kind of like, hey, the Chargers aren't doing a bad job blocking the front four, right? Like, they were handling themselves well. But then towards the end of the game, it was like, okay, now it's starting to get a little too much for them. And then it's like, we're going to need the run game to get picked up a little bit here more, boys. We're going to need the play action game to get going. Like, if we lose 2 great tackles, we have to find an answer to that. We can't sit back here and throw the ball 20 times the way we wanted to. We're going to have to start running it a little bit more, getting this game going, and at the same time playing a little bit tougher up front, because there was times where it was like, you guys are playing too passive. Get after them. Like, Zion Johnson's a freak, and I just want to see him fucking level people. And at times you're like, dude, go hit somebody, please. And I know it's probably not easy because that game was that in SoFi?
No, it was in New York or in New Jersey.
Yeah, dude. You lose Joe, right? You're on the road. All of a sudden, you're like, hey, man, this front four, Sexy Dexy blocks a ball, takes it all the way back. Like, you're like, dude, we're really.
That was great.
See that shit?
Sexy
that was awesome.
Dexy laying a yard shy of the end zone.
Amazing.
Oh man, yeah. So here's my. All right. The Chargers, they're 3-1 now. The Chiefs beating the Ravens to pull within a game it was a problematic weekend for the Chargers, because not only do you lose a game that you're favored to win, you lose. They're the only team in NFL history that's now lost 2 top 5 left tackles to an injury in the first month of the season, because Rashawn Slater's out for the season. It's being reported as a high ankle for Joe Alt, and so call it a month or 2 months or whatever. And the Chiefs got it going offensively. So how much did the weekend's events for the Chargers sway that division, do you think?
Oh, in a big way. I think that, like you said, losing 2 of the top tackles, And not only that, but the Chiefs kind of catching their footing and being like, oh, here we are. We know what we're doing. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, this is where we didn't want to be because you thought that for sure the Chargers were going to go in and knock out the Giants, right? Like the G-men stand no chance with this rookie quarterback. And then all of a sudden you're like, what the hell is going on here? This just nothing going for the offense. And it's going to be a struggle now. I'm not kidding. Mackey, you and I both know what happens when you get that beast in Kansas City going. And that's where it's like, dude, you guys could have had them dead to rights almost so many games up. But you losing Joe is going to be another thing, right? Like you have to play the Chiefs again, and you played them down in Brazil, and you got lucky down there, and you beat them, and it was a hard-fought game. But now it's like, I think the next game's at the Chiefs, right? It's at Arrowhead?
Yeah. I think so. Let me just pull up the Chargers schedule.
That's not going to be good, especially not with
the Chiefs have a pretty. Their schedule does not lighten up a whole lot. Here's the Chargers. The Chargers. By the way, that game at Arrowhead is Week 15 on December 14th, so it's a long ways away. Joe will probably be back for that game. I would think.
Sure be back.
So the Chargers. And also, if you want to make the case that the Chargers are 3-0 in the division because their first 3 wins were Kansas City, Vegas, and Denver, that if you were going to lose a game unexpectedly, losing to an NFC team, which doesn't affect anything in your division record or your conference record for tiebreakers, you don't want to lose at the Giants. But like, if you're going to lose a game, lose to an NFC team. But they've got Washington at home. Maybe Jaden Daniels is still out, and then at Miami on October 12th, home against Indy, home against the Vikings on a short week. But there's a Titans game in there, so I think they can still come out of this with their 3-0 start, and just weather it until Joe Wall gets back. So
they do.
We'll see. But things change fast in the National Football League.
They sure do.
I want to give you my favorite mic from the entire weekend now.
Do it.
Liam Coen, head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, dude. So first of all, you all laughed when I said the Jaguars were going to take that division. And looky here, they're tied with the Colts at 3-1.
I'm still laughing.
All right,
don't worry.
That's right. Self-suck right here. I'll take that fine.
Do it.
But I love the post-game juice from Liam Coen. And there's a couple sleuths on the internet that have transcribed the entire conversation. It was a short one. But if you missed this in the week leading up, so Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator for the 49ers,
hilarious,
goes to the podium on Thursday for the weekly defensive coordinator press conference and essentially says, hey, they're not cheating, but the Sean McVay tree guys, which Liam Coen is one, he named Liam Coen, Kevin O'Connell with the Vikings, and Sean McVay, that they have an elaborate signal stealing system, whether it's like the hand signals from the sidelines or quarterback signals or whatever, defensive signals, whatever it is. He said legally, but they have some sort of sign stealing thing going on. And, it made some headlines. So the Jaguars go into San Francisco or Santa Clara. They win a big game on the road. Mm-hmm. And Liam Coen, you can find the video all over the internet, but Liam Coen kind of walks by Robert Saleh as the players are all congregating and says, keep my name out of your effing mouth. To which, have you seen the full version of what Robert Saleh said back to him? I'm going to read this to you.
No, but I saw the interaction briefly and I was dying.
It was, so Robert Saleh responds, I will F your world up. You don't want to F with me. I will effing end your effing life. Which, by the way, if those two guys were ushered into like an octagon and only one guy would come out, Robert Saleh would definitely end Liam Cohen's life, I think.
For
sure. But in this context, it's kind of funny that Liam Coen gets one over on Robert Saleh in Santa Clara, and Robert Saleh's all chapped, and so he's talking tough. But Liam Coen scored some extra points with me yesterday. He is my favorite Mike of the weekend.
I'll be honest. He did with me too. A little. I mean, his team, they look good, and I mean, dude, it was interesting to see the Niner gang throwing a lot of turnovers yesterday. What did they have, like 3 turnovers and then 1 on downs? It was not a good outing for them. But I didn't understand what Robert Saleh was trying to say in the media. Like, listen, There's a lot of sign stealing everywhere. I don't know what you're trying to get at. I don't know. Like when I heard that, I think it was on Thursday, he was starting to talk about it. They were like, "Oh, Robert Saleh says that they're stealing signs in Jacksonville," and it's like, they're stealing signs everywhere. What are you doing? Like,
yeah. What was? Can you just like for those of us that have no
I don't
idea?
even know.
It's not. He's not. He wasn't talking about like a Connor Stallions thing where they're video.
Well, he
was
tried to
talking
make
about
it like
legal.
that. I feel like, yeah, he was like, "What? What do you care if they like, China Bowl? If it's China, oh, they know it's China. Oh my God, it's like, okay, well, you still have to stop it. Like, I didn't get where he was going with that, and then to lose, and it's like, dude, come on, what is going on? Like, and then for him to come on the field, keep my fucking name out your mouth, dude. Like the players on the field kind of look the most like, what are we doing?
What's happening? Yeah,
what are we doing?
Like, you guys joking?
Are we
What's
about to fight right now? Like, dude, you saw the old lineman kind of laughing. Like, are we about to swing? Are we about to swing right here? I'm here for it. I love it. I don't know what Robert's doing. I didn't find that very cool. Mostly defensive guys probably understand that. It must be an inside joke, but I mean, Jags.
Boy, the I will effing end your effing life. It's like I was joking with our guys on Purple Daily. Said this is there's certain instances in life where people get a little ragier than they would in like a grocery store or something. In your car when you're road raging, people definitely talk in a way that they wouldn't talk if they're just like at a restaurant. I think on the football field, based on some of your stories too, people ratchet it up a little further than they would in normal life.
I don't think that was taken out of context. I mean, I don't think anybody on the field was like, "Oh my God, Saleh's going to kill him." It's
actually
really
kill him.
It's said a lot. I'm going to kill you. People say that all the time. Like it's just kind of laugh it off. But when it's two coaches, I don't know what to do. Like this is so like, what are we doing right now? Like I just wanted to see somebody from the top ropes be like, "Yes, Saleh, shut the fuck up." Like, just be like. Because forever in a day, you want to tell a coach to shut up. Like, you just want to tell a coach so bad. Why don't you shut up, right? It'd be great if one of the Jags came out of nowhere, like Trevor Lawrence. Like, yes, Saleh, why don't you shut up and get the fuck out of here? Like, dude, such a great opportunity. God,
the one that came to mind just thinking about your career, you were on the field for the backslapping thing, the Jim Harbaugh, Jim Schwartz thing, right?
That was great.
Was there something that led up to that game, or was it just in the what was the context?
They were just so back and forth with each other in the media, and I forget what kind of started the whole thing, but it was a tight game, man. It was really tight, and they were a good team back then. They obviously had Stafford, Sue, they had all those guys, and they were crushing the North back then, dude. They were, oh man, and something happened in the week though. And Harbaugh got upset. And I think he was just, you know what it was? Like he was talking about all week, like how when the work gets done, when you're done, you got to untuck your shirt. You got to let them know you're done by untucking your shirt. And so after the game, he like threw his shirt out of his thing. He was jumping around, excited. And dude, it was a really big game. Like we wanted that win. And he was just in the moment, just a little too excited. And when he went for the like clasp of the hand, he pulled him in really hard and like smacked him really hard. I don't think he meant anything by it, but the fact that Schwartz followed him, he like followed Harbaugh to the locker room because I was walking next to Harbaugh and he was like, "Who do you think you are?" And Harbaugh was like, "I'm Jim Harbaugh."
And who's got it better than us?
Nobody. Dude, it was great. That was, it's always kind of funny because there's times when you're like, when a fight's about to go down and you're like, there's going to be a fight, right? Like Tristan Wirfs this last weekend, and we'll get to that. Like when you start pissing off Tristan Wirfs, shit's about to go down, right? In that moment, I think we were all kind of like, why are we fighting? Are we fighting because our coaches are fighting? And like a big, everyone kind of comes together and there's big pushing and everyone's kind of looking around like, well, who started this fight? Like, you need to throw the first punch. And it was like, well, it's Harbaugh. Harbaugh started it. It was like, oh, well, then let's go home. Let's get the hell out of here. Like they took that way too serious. That was super fun though.
So Liam Coen, I love it, man. He's the next McVaytree guy that I think people are going to fawn over. You've got another mic coming up here in just a second. I do want to shout out for the audience, our guys at MyBookie. So if you are interested in winning some money this football season, maybe take your football opinions and put your money where your mouth is, MyBookie makes it really easy to get in on the action. whether it's pro football, college ball, super contests, survivor pools, MyBookie is here with the code OLINE, and any bet you choose up to $500 is fully covered. So if you're new to MyBookie, go to mybookie.ag and use that code up on the screen here for the YouTube audience, OLINE, and any bet you choose up to $500 is fully covered. You make your play. If it doesn't hit, you get it right back when you opt in using your bet back bonus token. So appreciate MyBookie for helping to power the episode here. And also for the O-line committee audience, hey, it's fall season here, especially in the upper Midwest, which is going to turn to winter at some point. And so we're pumped to team up with FVP Auto Parts and Menards this football season. So whether you're getting ready for a game day or you're just gearing up to keep your ride in shape, Menards is your one-stop shop for FVP Auto Parts, and that includes FVP minus 50 RV and marine antifreeze. So as you're getting ready for winter, this is a great time to winterize those summer toys, boats, RVs, cabins, with FVP RV and marine antifreeze. You can winterize swimming pools, also boats, recreational vehicles, campers, vacation homes, formulated to protect up to minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So head to Menards, stock up on FVP antifreeze, because performance matters on the road and beyond.
Football.
All right, Booney.
All right, here we go. You ready? Here, I'm going to do
Mike.
it. I'm going to do it right now because I love this guy to death, and he fought his ass off this weekend. But that Eagles-Bucs game was exhilarating. And I know we're going to get to the Sunday night game, but before we do, we got to talk about this game because it was wild, dude. The fact that the first half looked completely opposite on the second half, and both teams just did like a 180, it was like, oh my God, Baker's about to do it again, right? About to do it again. And then all of a sudden he throws that interception, and you're like, oh my God, the thing that you love the most will sometimes hurt you the most. Oh God, it hurts. I was okay, right? I was okay. I was like, it's early. We're going to get past this. And then he took a sack later in the game that I was like, oh boy. This is going to be rough. I mean, dude, that game was crazy because the first half of the Eagles, they were dominant, right? Like you're like, oh shit, it's 14-0, and I just blinked, and I was like, oh boy, this is going to be a hell of a hole to crawl out of. I think the stat in the second half was they didn't complete one pass, and I was like, okay, what the hell was that about, right?
Yeah,
dude. The fact that this game was, and we knew it was going to be close, right? It was one of the better games of the weekend that we've been talking about all weekend. Like, I don't know that it beat the Sunday night game last night because that game was insanely wild, and we'll get to that. But this game with Baker was so exhilarating and so fun. And you talk about two teams that just fight to the bitter end. I'm nervous, though. A.J. Brown's already tweeting things.
But he does this every other week. He was doing this. They won a Super Bowl with him. He was live tweeting in the third quarter of a Super Bowl, probably.
I know.
Right?
I'm asking you. This is okay, right? I'm okay. This is the dysfunction that we like, right?
Yeah.
This is it.
Get him his little self-help book.
Okay.
Listen, 8. Here's your book. You go sit over here. We won the game. 30 could have moved. Now they average like 3 yards per play offensively. So you might say maybe you do mix in your awesome wide receiver more than he had 2 catches for 7 yards. He was targeted 9 times, so it wasn't for lack of trying to throw him the football.
That's why I'm kind of worried. Like, hey, it wasn't like we didn't not throw it to you. We did. I'm just more of the mind of I'm just making sure. We've talked about this. Jalen Hurts is great because he's always like, psh, Zen master, right? Come in this huddle, you're zenified. But all of a sudden you leave this huddle and you got a receiver that we threw the ball to 9 times. It's like, well, sometimes you got to shrug your shoulders and go with it. And it's like, wait a minute, did you lose? Oh, you won? Oh, this is the dysfunction that we like. I'm cool with it if that's what we're talking about. And on the flip side, I don't know.
I think if we didn't have evidence that already showed they can win a Super Bowl with a dysfunctional vibe where the head coach is yelling at fans and Big Dom is one of the foremost noteworthy players on the team or figures on the team, and their top wide receiver literally has to read self-help books on the sideline to prevent from popping off about his own productivity. Yeah. Like all of those things put into a stew without knowing the result of last season, you would have said, yeah, they implode before they get anywhere near a Super Bowl. But they've already won a Super Bowl with all these same sort of themes where the offense disappears for 2 quarters at a time. So it's like the one exception in the league where I would say, yeah, I don't know. They're 4-0. Now, here on the flip side, and you tell me if I'm wrong on this, Booney, I actually come away more impressed with Tampa Bay after the game than before the game, even though they lost. Because they got down, but they came right back in the second half. They were in it, if not for the tipped interception that Baker Mayfield threw there at the end. But I come away thinking Tampa Bay is a team that will fight you, and we knew that when Baker's your quarterback. Like, they're going to fight you until the end. But they also, in terms of yards per play, and I know you're a huge stat guy, and I'm trying to get into stats more here, but they averaged 2 more yards per play than Philadelphia. It was actually one of the most lopsided yardage games in the NFL this season, especially for the result being flip-flop. So Tampa moved the ball. Tampa came firing back late. If they didn't dig themselves such a huge hole in the first half, then maybe it turns out differently. But I was actually I came away thinking, all right, Tampa's in the mix in the NFC after that game.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely think Tampa's in the mix. We were all about this game. We knew it was going to be like this. I'm actually excited, just like you. The fact that it was 14-0 when I blinked, I was like, holy shit, are they just going to give up? But they came back, right? Like, the first half, you were like, okay, eventually they're going to wake up and figure this out. And the second half, they started fighting, and Baker started doing Baker things, but that turnover late was just too much for them to overcome. And when you're playing good teams like that, you can never give them the ball. You can't take the ball out of your own hands. It's one of the most fundamentally sound things in the NFL. You can never give away possessions, right? They gave away that, and then I think Bucky fumbled the ball too earlier in the game too, right? Like, the minute you start turning the ball over like this, that's when bad things start happening. Even if the Eagles aren't driving anywhere in the second half, the fact that they have the ball is enough to be like, this is dangerous, right? Anything could happen at any moment. And yeah, I think I have a theory now that this dysfunction is officially planned, right? They win this game. We're all like, damn, Philly's tough, right? Like, Baker's been doing this for 3 weeks, and you guys finally stopped him. Like, he's been on a roll. It is what it is. And then you put out this tweet, and so now you got everyone kind of looking around again, and I wonder if it's going to take everybody off guard, right? Like, who do they play next? We got to find out who do they play next, because you know that coach is like, don't you dare buy into this tweet. Don't you dare buy in that there's dysfunction on this team. These guys know exactly what they're doing. I'm telling you, Sirianni was probably in there like, AJ, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to tweet out this exact quote from this book, and they're all going to think that we're turning on each other here, but we're going to do this. Like, that's exactly what's going on right now. I'm telling you, I love it. I'm here for it.
I mean, it is, yeah, drama is baked into their DNA, and I'll put it this way, I would be more worried about the actual lack of offensive consistency and productivity than like the noise coming out of AJ Brown complaining about it. They are, so as we wake up here, we're doing this like kind of middle of the day on Monday. And so most teams have played 4 games. It's early in the season, but we're a month in. And only 2 teams are averaging fewer yards per play on offense than the Eagles are this season in the league. And that would be the Tennessee Titans with a rookie quarterback, a mess. They didn't score a point yesterday. And the Cincinnati Bengals basically minus Joe Burrow. And they'll play again tonight. So maybe if the Bengals have a good offensive night, you could wake up tomorrow and the Eagles would have only one team worse than them from a yardage standpoint offensively. So, like, they're not a high octane. The biggest difference last year was Saquon Barkley and the running game were unstoppable, and that has not been nearly the case in the first month of the season here. No, and credit to Tampa. They're a tough team, like we said before. They have a ton of playmakers over there. Ibuka, dude, when they get fucking Mike Evans back, OMG. Like, that's another thing. Like, we keep thinking like, oh man, Tampa really, they fought hard as hell. And it's like, they didn't even have one of their studs out there. Like, they get him back. Now you really have Bucky Irving too, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, Tampa, I love them. Philly too, though. You're right. The dysfunction, it's what they do. It's what they are. They're in there like right now, like, dude, the Broncos think we're all messed up. We're going to come out and punch them in the mouth. Like, son of a bitch.
The Saquon thing would make me a little nervous. I kind of predicted this sometime earlier this year, just because like anyone that when you carry the ball or touch the ball that many times, which for him it was in the regular season, he touched the ball 378 times and then 104 more times in the playoffs. So he wound up with almost 500 touches and I don't know, whatever it was, 2,000 like 2,900 yards or something. Physically, or is there any way you can come back? And usually the answer is there's no way you bounce back. But like last year, he was averaging 6 yards on the ground per attempt, 2,000 yards. Saquon has 237 rushing yards through 4 games. Like just
normalized.
Nowhere near the productivity.
No, and people are bringing him down. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was a couple times this last week he could have broke a few loose, and it was like, oh, he might do it. And he thought he might do it too. But how about the fact that they came out with the tush push? Dude, they finally did it like they just waited until everyone lined up, and they just handed the ball around the edge, and it was like, they're starting to make this look way too easy, guys. You guys are all freaking out about this tush push, and now they're just giving it to the guy behind the quarterback. Like, dude, their creativity is starting to get really fun. If they're behind these tweets that are being pushed out, that's even better. Like this whole thing, Philly drives me nuts, man. They get fined 1 week $75,000 for texting on the sidelines, and then the next week they take like one of the toughest teams to the deep end, and you're like, dude, what is up with this team? Jesus.
It's a weird team.
I love them though, dude. I love them.
There's a little bit of 2024 Chiefs vibes on the field where from game to game you're like they're not the same team that they used to be, but they're just still finding ways to win these close ones. And so let's peek what's the Eagles schedule coming up? I'm curious. They've got
just looking that up.
Denver at home next weekend, which will be a tough one.
Tough one
at
for
Giants
Denver.
on a Thursday night.
Ooh.
At Vikings.
Ooh.
They get the Giants again, at Packers, Lions, at Cowboys. So they got there's some
dude.
teams
That
up
Thursday
there.
night game against the Giants. If the Giants can win this week, who are the Giants playing this week? Hold on, they beat the Chargers.
They get the Saints. Giants get the Saints. The Giants go at Saints.
Oh, dude, they come off
Giants.
another
Giants
win.
about to be 2
They could
and
be
3
2-0
going into that Philadelphia game. Let's go.
Excited. I cannot wait for that pick.
I heard Jay get a little.
He got so excited.
Chubby under the table for us just talking about it.
And I know. I'm excited too. All right. Listen, Bucs, we love you. You're gonna do fine. You need to get Mike Evans back. Eagles, just fucking doing what they do, man. I love it. All right.
Okay, new mic.
Do it. You gotta do it.
Last
Sunday
night.
Here's a guy. Here's a guy who doesn't know how to pay a defender or a defense to step a nosebleed. Here's a guy. Listen, that game was insane. And it was so back and forth. And the entire time, I just kept trying to poke Micah Parsons to be like, this is why you are not Myles Garrett. Because if that had been Myles Garrett, there would have been carnage. Wow. Carnage. Say whatever you want. We were all waiting for him the entire game. Double him, triple him. If you're pissed, you'll show us. Myles Garrett would have done it. Dude, you know who else would have done it? Max Crosby would have done it. Wow. I'm just saying. Just say whatever you want. He even said it after the game. I went right up to Jordan Love and was like, my dude, thank you for having my back. Yeah, bro, we had to score 40 points for y'all. 40. And for the record, we tied the Rams one year. The most awkward feeling after
what is it?
Kidding.
I was going to ask if you ever tied.
You saw it, right?
They kicked the field goal to Packers to tie it.
He didn't even care.
The
kicker was like, whatever. He like kicked it. Like, did you see how he was just so nonchalant? Like, whatever. Like, kicked it, and they all just like walked away. Yeah. There is nothing to say to each other. I remember we tied, right? We ended up. What was the last play of the game? I forget what we did, but we were in our stance, and they were like, "That's game." And I remember I stood up and James walked up to me and was like, well, now what? And I was like, I don't know. I'll see you guys later. Like, we all just walked off the field. Like, it was like, you go in the locker room, the coach is like, well, we did some good things. We did some shitty things. No victory Monday. I'll see you tomorrow. And you're like, damn it.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
You didn't lose. It also, what I hate selfishly is it just makes it harder to look at the standings.
Oh, well,
like,
it's going to screw somebody later. Someone's going to be like, well, they tied, so this team technically has the tiebreaker. You're like, oh, God. But, dude, I'm not kidding. Defensively, both of these defenses, they need to figure themselves out. They need to do whatever they need to do to get this shit going. Like, Jerry, you trading Micah away may have been the worst thing ever because your defense could have used him so bad. But then you look at what he did for the Packers, and you're like, You know this offense. You know this O-line. You know where they're sliding and where they're going, and you're the one that could easily be disruptor, and you're not. And the one play that you do disrupt, you completely miss him and tackle the right tackle. I was like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Like, that is the definition of you're so angry and so out of your element that you will do anything to get in the backfield, but you did it at a terrible cost because you were out of control. And for anyone listening, the number one thing they teach you in the NFL, and they don't ever tell anybody this, is control. And they teach you that in OTAs because they always say this: stay up no matter what. You can never fall down. You always must stay in control of yourself. And the guys that can't, like if they'll say it once, day one, a couple guys will fall. And it's normal. They go, all right, everybody, we got to learn to stay up. And it's almost like I'm not kidding you, it's like you're at daycare. Because they'll stop practice and they'll be like, okay, that's 3 guys that have fallen down now. Let's talk. Guys on the ground equals injuries. Guys on the ground equals not producing. And you're like, okay, I start to get it. Then the next day they say it, they take down that number. Who is that? 72? Guess who gets cut that day? 72. Because his fat ass can't stay up. And guess what happens when you're on the ground? Nothing good. It's the same thing. Dak was Micah was so enraged, and he had the sweetest 2-hand swipe. I mean, number one, Tyler, we saw it coming from a mile away. Like, he came out of his stance like this, and anytime they come out of their stance like this, it means they're going to go this way, and then they're going to come across their body and do this double hand chop. And when they do this double hand chop, they're going to start to flip their hips this way. And when they flip their hips this way, they're just going to continue going, right? So your job, if you're really good, is to throw one of these out here, kind of give it one of these like it's coming, and then when they go, you pull back, and then you come back around. But instead, he gets swipes, comes around the edge. This dude's like a blind dog in the meat house, runs into the right tackle. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Yeah. Just sloppy football, but followed up with amazing offense. Like, you talk about George Pickens stole the show. That catch where he was like this and there was like 4 guys on top. I was like, they get CD back? Shit.
They can move the ball. So Dallas offensively, I know they have 1 win in the first month, so let's not get too excited here. But But they're 5th in the league in scoring offense, and I think they're 6th in yards per play, and that's like Dak shaking off the rust of missing almost the entire year last year.
He looks amazing.
George Pickens' first year in the system, and they're trying to get this thing right. So I don't know that Dallas I don't think is going to rise to the level this year of where some of the where the Lions are right now and some of the top teams. And I think there's a gap between the Packers and the Cowboys, even though there was a tie last night. But dude, if you don't look out, Dallas will drop 34, 35 points on you and be feisty this year. So yeah, that was a super fun game. That game ended with 9 consecutive scoring drives, back and forth the entire second half. Just absolutely ridiculous, insane. Dude.
Listen, I know you're kind of writing Dallas out. Hear me.
No, I think they're competitive.
I think they're more than competitive. They might even
make the playoffs.
I think they're going to make the playoffs, and I think I'm going to have to eat my words a little bit. Now, I think Eberflus is still going to get fired because, dude, you just said it. They're 5th in scoring in the NFL, and they're what? 1-2-1. You said they're 5th in scoring, and they're 1-2-1. That's a negative record. You realize that, right? We're the 5th You're the 5th offense in the league. We're 5.
It's that Buckeye math paying off right there. That's right.
And we don't have a winning record, Mackey. Who's getting fired? Not Brian Schottenheimer. Naga. Hey, Eberflus, come on in here.
You're fired again, buddy.
I sold you to the European team. I'm kidding.
Sorry,
I'm not.
Maddie.
Listen, love what Brian's doing. So excited about this offense. I can't believe I'm saying this because Dak is the quarterback. But at times, I was like, okay, this dude looks really good. And I've said this earlier this year. He looks a lot more in shape this year. He looks thinner. He looks more fit. He looks like he's ready to put the ball where it needs to be. He came back with a purpose. And shout out to Brian Schottenheimer. I didn't think it was going to work. And I'll be the first to say it. I'm not ashamed to be like, all right, I didn't think it was going to work. And then people were like, well, they're 1-2-1. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. But the Packers are a good team, and we just tied them, right? Like the Giants game, once again, how many points did we put up? 34.
The Eagle, they were in there right till the end in that Eagles game. I
Yeah,
know
like,
we're giving a lot of like moral victory points here
but
to a
they're-
1-2-1 football team.
But they're good. They're a good team. And if they had a better defense, they'd be a really good team. Like, they're not one of these teams that I don't look at them like the Titans or the Saints. I look at them and go, man, you better bring your shit this day, because if you don't, they could put points up. The problem is, if your offense gets feisty, you're going to put points up on their defense. And that's the problem that they're having. But this is where we go back to the chicken or the egg, Mac. Would I rather have Micah Parsons on my team when my defense can't stop a nosebleed? Because it seems like now they're kind of looking around like, oh, well, we don't have to do anything special in protection. We're just going to go.
Yeah.
We're just going to, you know what? We're going to go empty. It's like if Micah was over there, you wouldn't be going empty protection like that. And if you did, those throws would be out way quicker. Like, there's so much to look at here where it's like, finally, this offense is clicking and they're gelling, and they don't even have CD on the field. They put up 40 points. You can say whatever the hell you want. They put up 40 points in the NFL. That is an insane number for 1 week, right?
For the second time in 3 weeks, they put 40 up on the Giants too.
And you don't even have your number one receiver. No. And now we're looking at Jerry all going, man, if our defense could just stop some throwing. Shit.
Yeah.
Never mind. What would I know? I don't know.
That's the thing. But I think if you're Dallas, then it becomes imperative that you got the extra draft capital, not going to help you this year, but can you nail a rookie edge rusher in the first round, or maybe it's a defensive tackle type, and fill it, because Dak Prescott. All right, I remember we asked the question. It was an off-season episode of O-Line Committee, and I think we laid out like Dak Prescott, top of the market money, Micah Parsons, top of the market, and CeeDee Lamb, top of the market money. Like they were all in line or all had been paid. And if you can only keep two of them and kick the third one out, and I said, I like Dak, but I don't think he's his cap hit was, I think he's like $60 million a year average annual value, or something. He's still the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's like the 12th best quarterback in the league is what my take was. And so I'd rather just get rid of that and keep the edge rusher, just the infrastructure, and then plug a cheaper quarterback in. But where I would go back on that statement, 2 years ago, Dak was second in MVP voting on a 12-win team, 36 touchdowns. He didn't turn the ball over, threw for a bunch of yards, some fourth quarter comebacks. He looks like the dude from 2023 right now, where he's like, okay, that's like the sixth best quarterback in the NFL. So if you're going to get that version of Dak who leads the NFL in passing yards, and you have to go and find another Michael Parsons in the draft, but your roster is not going to have the.
You're
cap
completely
issues.
right, and you actually kind of just put me back in my place, because you're right. You can't pay CD and Dak and Micah, because Dak's making 60. CD's making like what?
Yeah.
36.
This is 37? The Bengals problem, and
so
you can't
40.
pay three. It's a 53-man roster. You can't.
That's
pay
$100 million between two guys, and then Micah's going to want easily 40 more. So that's $140 million you're paying three guys, and then you turn over and look at the rest of your roster. Like, dude, we're going to have to pay other people. I guess when maybe you look back at this, if one of those had to go, you got rid of the best one. Because you're right. The way that they're kind of cooking right now, you're like, listen, I know that they're not winning. We're not looking at the offense in any of this. When you put up 40 points, we're not looking at the offense like, where you at? We're looking at the defense like, you couldn't just stop them on one of those third downs. One of those third downs, you couldn't have stopped them. We would have walked away from this game. But you talk about next year, the draft capital that they're going to have. And if the owner's saying look to next year, guess what, y'all? We're all looking to next year, because he's the one that's paying the bills, and he's like, hey, listen, I'm fine with this team right now, and I got enough capital next year that I'm going to go out and find a pass rusher. Because you're right, dude. What's one of the easiest things to find? A pass rusher. You go to College World, and you're like, give me the top 5 guys. Dude, the last guys coming out the last couple of years have been just insane. Look at Abdul Carter.
Jared Verse, Abdul Carter,
Jared
Chop
Verse this last weekend. Fumble. Like, dude, they're all over the place. Like, that's one of the things that I guess – and maybe it took us a while to see it. And you know what else it was? This is exactly what it was. We weren't comfortable with what we had seen from Dak and CD before to be like, oh, man, you're getting rid of this guy? But now it's like, oh, shit, they can't put up points because they got Javonte Williams in the backfield who's doing some stuff, which is really fun to watch, right? He's a physical, hard runner. And at the same time, you got George Pickens out here. You got, who is it? Who made that catch? Was it Tolbert that came back on that dig route? Dude.
That was crazy. Kept his feet in. That was wild.
Like, guys are making plays. They're showing up, but it's all coming through Dak. And Dak's the one that you're leaning on. And there was a time when we were like, man, this guy is so overpaid. And at this point right now, I'm kind of like, shit, this guy's kind of worth some. He's kind of worth it right now. He's doing like what? How many yards did he have last week? 350? 320?
Yeah, he leads the league in passing yards in the first month.
Dude, shout out Brian Schottenheimer. Seriously, so excited for this guy. And here I was over here like, oh, man, it's not going to work. And it's like, give it a chance.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it. And
it's
I can't believe I'm saying that. I know.
I have a tie question for you. So ties are weird. They're just it makes everyone feel weird. So they now have it's a 10-minute overtime period and both teams get the ball, right? So but sometimes there's not enough time to run 2 possessions with only 10 minutes in the quarter. So I think, like we talked about this, Judd and I talked about this on Purple Dailies. Like at the very least, just make it a 15-minute quarter so both teams have a chance to. The second team's not rushing down there. But here's my question: you get only 2 options. Would you rather have games end in a tie, or a field goal contest after overtime to determine a winner? And those are the only 2 options. Either ties continue to exist, or a field goal contest after overtime to break the tie.
I love a tie every now and then, right? Like you look back at this tie, they blocked a field goal for 2 points the other way. I don't think anyone's ever seen that or knew that was possible. They scored 14 points in like 30 seconds. Like this was the most ugly game, but like at some point as an offensive player, I'm like, I enjoy this because they're just putting points up and you're like, man, we're just beating on defenses, right? Like anytime the offense is out there, I feel like I'm on offense and I'm like, man, we're just beating the shit out of everybody. But when it comes down to watching 2 kickers go at it, I would pay to see that. Like, just keep backing them up and backing them up and backing them up and backing them. And you're just standing from the sidelines like, don't fucking miss, bro. Don't miss, right? Just be amazing.
I think I would rather see. I also agree. I would rather see a field goal contest.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Back them up. We're starting at 55. No, we're not going 30. No.
So what would that look like?
We're starting at the 55, and then we're going 60, and then we're going 65, and then we're going 70. And if you think that the defense isn't rushing, you're crazy. You are crazy.
So you would send out the entire. It wouldn't just be the kicker out there alone. It would be full on. You can block it. You can block it.
Oh yeah, you got every one of them has to be a hurricane. We start the clock with 18 seconds. Everybody has to run on the field. Good luck not getting a legal procedure, bastards.
That would be fun.
Hey, this is something that we need to talk about because there's going to be a lot of people that want to know about this. I don't know what Jordan Love was thinking when he snapped that ball with 6 seconds left. I can tell you this, that where they were on the field was not ideal to run go routes with 6 seconds left. Because when he let that ball go, I was glued to the screen. Glued.
Yeah.
Like, how much time is left? 3, 2. I'm watching the ball sail, and I'm like, oh, my God, he just lost this game to throw this ball. Is he for real?
It's weird.
Talk about, there's been a lot of shitty, you said it earlier, the Vikings in London, doesn't matter, Dublin, doesn't matter that the play clock doesn't work in the stadium. There's no excuse. You're an NFL team. You're worth $10 billion. You can go get a freaking stopwatch on a random dude and be like, hey, let me know when we get to 10, okay? I'll pay you $10,000 to do that for me today. That's right. Just let me know every time it gets to 10.
Bill, you tell me.
Right?
10 seconds.
I was probably not the only one that was like, they are so stupid for doing this. Had they lost that game, the shitstorm that would have came down on them for not just clocking it and kicking the field goal. Like, I don't know what he was thinking, but
you know what it was? It was
too risky.
I know he's not dead, but it was the ghost of Mike McCarthy's clock management coming down. The 2 teams that he has coached in the NFL, the Packers and the Cowboys. And
Cowboys, I'll do you one more.
But yeah, it was weird.
Weren't you nervous? Did you think he was? Was I the only one like, this guy's fucking crazy? What's he doing?
I'm glad you brought this up because sometimes when I watch Jordan Love, I think, holy cow, this dude, like at his best, he's like one of the top 6 or 7 quarterbacks in the league when he's at his best. He's mobile. He's got a huge arm. He's elusive. And when he gets it going, he can put up numbers and productivity. But then sometimes the NFL, not sometimes, like a lot of times games come down to not something physically that you do. It's the way that you dominate the chess match and the mental game as a head coach, as a quarterback. And it was kind of jarring that he didn't really know like where the clock was at or he seemed kind of indecisive. He's waiting for something to come in from the sidelines. And it just feels
clock. That's what's coming in. Clock.
The best quarterbacks, the Mahomes, the Josh Allens, even Lamar to some extent when he's not playing against the Chiefs, they have this ability to understand exactly, okay, we've got the clock is at 20, which means they're thinking like a head coach would. And it kind of felt like Jordan Love got lost in that. And Matt LaFleur threw the entire unit under the bus. He basically said after the game, I don't know what the guys were thinking.
Did
he? If they didn't know that this was a 2-minute drill, but he basically said, we're getting the plays out, and these guys are dilly-dallying around. He goes, maybe we have to just kind of go back to the drawing board. But
you said it, and I was thinking the same thing. It sounded like he was listening for something to come in, and I'm sure, and I don't know if it was like so loud that he couldn't hear or whatever, but I'm sure that they were screaming clock, like, dude, get the ball down now. He snapped it. There was like 6 seconds left, and I was like, I don't know what a quick out route's going to do here. And then when nobody went for the out routes, I was like, I don't know what they're doing here.
Well, if I remember the sequence, the first problem was actually the completion before that, which was a pointless completion because it was like 6 or 7 or whatever yards. It was short of the sticks. It was short of the end zone.
Yeah,
it either needs to be an incomplete pass or a touchdown.
Yes.
And if you throw anything short, you might as well drop the pass if you're the receiver. But then, so they had time to run another play, throw a ball into the end zone if they're going fast. But once that clock, to your point, once that clock got down to like 7, 6, they're lucky that the Dallas clock operator, the home clock operator, could have let that second tick off.
He could,
but he did the noble thing. He stopped it. He did the noble thing.
Let me tell you who's getting fired this week. Jerry's like, listen here, Brian.
Listen,
30 years of service for what? Cowboys fan, my ass. Yeah, I don't. It got scary, man. It got really scary, and I was like, man, this is gonna get roasted. But for him to throw his offense under the bus like that, that's
LaFleur gets testy, man.
He does get testy. You could tell the minute that he walked off the field, he kind of looked at Jordan, and he had like the eyes of, what the fuck was that? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Did you just snap the ball and possibly lose the game for us? And I'm sure Jordan was like, dude, I had no idea. And he's like, you got to be smarter than that, dude. I am physically telling you clock in your head. Because when they were all running up, I was like, 10, 9, they're fine. They're going to get this off. They'll snap it. They'll clock it. They'll kick the field goal. Game over. He snapped it. They started running. What's he doing? Yeah. Does he know something I don't? Oh, my God. No, crazy, we were all right. LaFleur was not happy about that. No.
It was crazy. Yeah. Just, but I think it's another reason why I don't put the Packers quite on that level of where the Lions are at right now. And the Eagles have their own problems we talked about, but like,
yeah, I agree with that. 100%.
Let's hit on like one more. Yeah, give me. And we'll do a show tomorrow too. So there's other things to get to.
No.
Give me one more, Mike.
This guy played in the league for a long time. Won more Super Bowls than most teams. His team's quarterback just loves to turn the ball over to the other team. You'd think that Tom Brady would be in that room today with Gino. Like, Gino, what are we doing? What are we doing, man? What are we doing, Gino Bambino? They ran, and I don't know if anybody caught this, but the guy started talking about it, and I had to go back and watch it to make sure it was true. They ran the same play twice, and then it was interception twice. The same play twice, and it was intercepted the same time by the same guy in the same spot. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Dude, and then you got the center on like the short yardage. He's supposed to man up the nose. And listen, man, I know Meredith. I didn't want to man those guys up either, right? They're like breathing all hard. Snot and shit's coming out of their nose, and you're like, I got to man this guy up. God, I don't want to touch him. Center pulled when it was like an ISO block. He pulled, Ashton was like literally in the middle of the hole, like, you got to be shitting me. Boom! Just gets crushed. And it's like, what are we doing? And at the same time, like, the Bears at the other side of the field, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm all over on both teams, but the Bears walking away with a win was huge for them. The Raiders giving the ball away as much as they did. I mean, it's a common theme so far this year. And offensively, I mean, I believe I picked them for my run team, right? Like for the O-line.
Oh,
challenge.
Fat Guy Fantasy? Yeah,
because
let me open up the Fat
I knew
Guy
Ashton
Fantasy.
was going to go nuts this year, and he has been. He's a phenomenal player, by the way. I mean, I love everything about him. But
we are due for a 1-month Fat Guy Fantasy update, so that will be a thing. Yeah, you have, let's see, Team Alex is Eagles. That's not going as well as you hope for your first-round pick, says a guy that picked the Jets. Also, Chargers, Vikings, and Raiders for you. Yeah.
It's going to be a rough go.
But, dude, the Raiders, this was one of the craziest losses for them. They turned the ball over 4 times, to your point. Geno Smith with 3 interceptions. But they ran the ball 240 yards at 8 yards a carry in this game. Insane. Unstoppable running game in this game. And for the day, they averaged 7 yards a play, and they lost the game.
I'm telling you, dude, if they get you get a quarterback on the Las Vegas Raiders, and maybe a couple of linemen that don't pull when they're not supposed to. You got yourself a fucking team. Have you seen
Brock
what
Bowers?
Dude, he's a stud. Have you seen what Max Crosby's been doing? Holy! I think he batted 6 balls. He had an interception. Like him and Myles Garrett, in my opinion, are definitely the 2 runnings for Defensive Player of the Year. Like those guys are just going off right now. Yeah. But offensively, you finally have this run game going, right? You have Brock Bowers out here as a tight end. You have Jacoby Myers out here. Like you have playmakers. You're just short one piece, and this one piece continues to turn the ball over to the Bears, to the fucking Bears, dude. I could not believe. I was like, oh my God, they're giving this game away right now. This is killing me. I
wonder if you were to have just replaced the 21 pass attempts that they gave to Geno Smith with 21 more runs, and you just became the first team in NFL history, at least since like 1928, to run the ball 50 times and don't pass. Do you beat the Bears?
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
The Raiders said we're going to literally run the ball 50 times and not pass once, do they beat the Bears yesterday?
I think they do.
Dude,
the
probably
Bears
do.
The Bears look sloppy. I mean, they blocked a field goal at the end of the game to win it, but they look sloppy for most of the game. And that was one of the things that was like, you guys are physically giving this game to Caleb Williams to beat you constantly. And I can promise you that if there was one person that was pissed about Geno's performance, it was definitely Pete Carroll, because Pete loves to run the ball. You're talking about a guy who had Marshawn Lynch. The minute they picked up Ashton Genty, I was like, this is my fantasy football team. Why? Because they're going to run the living piss out of the ball. Problem is, when you throw it, it's killing me. It's like, God, you can't be doing this. Because, dude, I want them to be good so bad. I see Max Crosby, and I go, this dude's trying to do anything he can to win this game by himself. Yeah. That dude is a full-grown bulldog. Mike Solari would have called him a full-grown bulldog. Like, we're going to have to cut him. We're going to have to chop him. We're going to have to double-team him. I'm going to have to come out and break ribs when I can. He is all over. And you know what it is? It's this distinguishing look with their hips and their shoulders. When they come off the ball, him and Myles Garrett, they do this thing where they get super low to the ground, and their legs kind of they lag. So their hips, like, they kind of like, we used to call it bounding, where they kind of like jump from one side to the other, right? But their hips and their legs kind of sway back and forth. So you're like, as you see it coming at you, it kind of looks like this, and you're like, I don't know how to take it on. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it hits you with the long arm, and you're like, oh, right? And you're like kind of getting driven back. I'm telling you, man, he is. These two guys, and I don't say this ever. Like 9-9 was my favorite. Michael Bennett was a favorite of mine. Loved them because they fought hard. They'd give you everything. These two guys right now, I wouldn't want to play them. They are. They're fucking electric too. And we talked about it earlier, the Vikings having to deal with Myles Garrett over there right now. I'm promising you they're in a meeting like, what do we? I don't know. You tell me. So we send a running back at him. We'll put Hawk over him. We're going to double team him. Like, we're going to do everything we can to not let this one guy win the game. And it's crazy. The Raiders lost that game. I could not believe it. I was so mad.
Yeah, I'm not out on the. I know it's an impossible division, but I'm not out on the 1-3 Raiders. Just for fun, let me throw a few one-win teams at you, and you tell me if there's still a chance for these one-win teams. Okay, I think we all agree the Ravens. There's still a chance. We talked about the Cowboys. Still a chance.
Oh yeah.
1-3 Giants playing the Saints this weekend to get to 2-3. Any chance at all? Any chance at all
to get into the playoffs?
Nine wins. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is.
I don't hate that. I'd like to see him go beat the Saints, and then we can talk.
And they probably will. But what is another thing that's making me say that is Washington doesn't have Jaden Daniels right now, and they lost to Atlanta, right? And so you're like, okay, well, once again, this division that I thought I was going to know so well, Philly's not running the ball, and they're scaring me at times. Dallas is really good, but defensively can't stop anybody. Washington goes down to Atlanta and gets the living piss smacked out of them by everybody named Drake London. And then all of a sudden you look at the Giants and you go, I could see this front four getting after people. But once again, I say that and I kind of go back and say no, because Malik. And I forgot that when I answered that. Malik having the ACL, I don't know that I feel as confident about them going 9 wins. Do I think they beat the Saints? Yes. Do I think they go 9 wins? That's going to be really hard, and you're going to have to rely on some other people to do it. And, dude, I don't know if I was the only one watching. Malik Nabers was a fucking sick catch.
He is, man. He's yeah. I hope he comes back 100% of pre-ACL Malik Nabers.
Give me another team.
Raiders 1-3. I'm not out.
I am, though.
Pete Carroll-led team.
I am. I'm sorry. Okay. How many weeks in a row has Geno Smith thrown 3 interceptions? I know this is 2 weeks this year, right? Is it 3 or 2?
Is it 2? Let's see here.
Dude, that's the
he does like to sling it around.
He does, but he doesn't have the Jameis Winston vibes, and that's what scares me. Like, he throws it, and then he's yelling at everybody, and it's like, no.
He had 3 picks against the Chargers a couple weeks ago.
I'm saying, you're making me nervous, dude. I'm not nervous about the run game. I picked Ashton Genty because I watched him in college destroy, and I was like, okay, this is going to be the next Jahmyr Gibbs. The problem is when the guy that holds the ball most of the time puts it in the other team's hands more than ours, it's like I can't stand behind that anymore. And Tom Brady owns this damn team. What is going on?
Oh, man. Panthers? Yeah. They were a sneaky playoff team for me preseason, but they're okay.
Find yourself for saying that. That's a lie.
Pretty bad. Really bad.
Who else?
And then let me see here. The Texans. Texans or Browns? Any chance?
Browns. I'm going Browns just because they're defense. If I had to pick the 2, I'm not picking either of them, but if I had to pick the 2, I'm going Browns because, like I said, 9-5. Not to say this, but has anybody been watching the Houston games? It's not like I'm really excited to see that matchup. Myles Garrett would be like, I'm going to go through you first, and then I'm going to go through you first, and then I'm going to go through you, I'm going to go through all of you. Like,
you see how many points per game the Browns are averaging? 14 points a game through the first 4 weeks, which is actually better than the Titans, who are averaging 12 points a game. So
that's
Place has got to play some defense if you're going to score 12 points a game, boys. Play a little defense. Damn it, they're at 10 and it's the third quarter. We're probably screwed.
Guys, it's 9-6 at halftime. Yeah. We are in the. Hey, 2 Monday night games tonight. Are we? And I might be the only one to say this, but are we looking forward to any of this tonight?
Do we really need these 2 Monday night games tonight? Do we need the Jets, Dolphins? Here, okay, Bengals, Broncos. The most intriguing thing, if the Dolphins lose at home to the Jets, does Mike McDaniel get fired in the next 24 hours? That's the only storyline tonight.
That's a divisional game. Are they both 0-3? Yeah. Somebody has to walk away a winner tonight. Boy.
In fact, if they advertise before the game that whichever team loses, the coach gets fired on national television by Lisa Salters is going to fire you.
Coach, let me talk to you real quick. I just want to let you know that your owner called down. You're fired.
You're fired. Get your ass out of here. Here's a box.
Remember we used to do that segment on Purple Daily? You're fired. Dude, we used to do that once a week.
We should bring that to O-line committee.
There were times where we couldn't fire anybody, but we had to, and I was like, I don't know who to fire.
Let's bring it to O-line committee. Let's bring it on Tuesdays.
You know
O-line
what?
committee
Tomorrow.
We're gonna fire.
You have to fire somebody. You got to fire someone tomorrow, Matt. I'll fire him too.
Jay's gonna love this one.
We've
nervous agent.
By the way,
God.
Find him again for not being here for like a month.
Where is he? He's just in the mountains, just hunting elk. Who knows?
Oh my God.
All right. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Tell your friends about the O-line committee. Click that like button, the subscribe button on the O-line committee YouTube channel. For regularly absent Jeremiah Sirles, for the Rhino Alex Boone, I'm Phil Mackey. See you guys.